We're joined by Lauren Rowles, who's just been appointed the new head coach of Gloucestershire's women's team ahead of the 2025 season. Congratulations, Lauren.
Thank you.
You must be really excited about the potential of having a good season with Gloucestershire this year.
Yeah, it is really exciting. I think it's probably something that people never really thought might happen at Gloucestershire, for there to be a full-time women's head coach. I think it'd be something that a lot of first-class counties probably thought would never happen in their team. So, yeah, it's exciting. Maybe a little bit daunting, but exciting nonetheless.
And you've joined us from Central Sparks. Just talk to us a little bit about your kind of journey through playing and then management and kind of leadership as well.
So I started playing here for Gloucestershire years and years ago, so probably about 15, 16 years ago now. And then university took me off to Worcestershire, so I went and played there for a few years. Worked at Worcester for a little while in their community side of things. Worked at Loughborough and also worked at Derbyshire. And then I got a full-time role then with Central Sparks just after COVID happened, where I was leading on their EPP and then flexed between several roles, but then led on the academy, the second team, and then assistant for the senior team. So, and then alongside that, I'm also the head coach of the England men's learning disability squad as well. So it's been quite a journey to sort of go up to Loughborough in Birmingham for a few years and then come back to Gloucestershire, which is really nice for me.
Sounds like you've had a scope of working with so many different players in your career. Thinking a little bit about Gloucestershire, our kind of playing squad. What are your who are the players you're kind of really thinking about trying to grow as players this year? You're working with a really young side.
Yeah, we are young, which is really exciting because we've got several players that are on the Glamorgan Academy, the Somerset Academy, and those that have come through our own EPP or are still on our own EPP. But also with a little bit of experience in there with our older players. So we've got a combination, probably 75% young, talented, fresh, ready to go, and then 25% with a bit more experience, probably a bit more level-headed. So that would be really exciting, just to get them together and to learn from one another. I think will be a really big thing, and something that I'm really big on is that the players really, I can tell them all I want, but they'll probably listen to each other a little bit more. So that's something that I'll be really keen to get going once the girls are all in, I think. And then just building on the talent that Gloucestershire already have. I was at the EPP last week for an hour or so, and just seeing the talent that's coming through alongside the women in the senior squad is really exciting.
And our schedule this year, we start off with a bit of one-day cup cricket, and then we go into the T20 schedule. What are your thoughts on that and kind of targets for the early part of the season?
Wow, do you know what? I was thinking about this. It's really difficult to gauge what the standard of the Tier 2 game is going to be, because it's new to everybody, and you've got players that could come from here, there and everywhere going to play for those teams, whether they're Tier 1 players coming back into Tier 2 cricket, Tier 3 players coming up. So I think it's going to be a lot of just finding our own feet in the competitions, and we'll have to work out the style of play that works best for us, and I think it's going to be more important how we play and how we go about our match days, and trying to almost be professional without being professional. And just concerning ourselves more with ourselves around how we play, what we want to do, what we want to achieve as a group of players and staff, and then hopefully the results then come. Try not to think too much about results, because if you focus too much on that, you sort of lose the way that you want to play. And we're here not only to win and be successful, but also to develop players into the professional game. So we've got to have one eye on both.
And one match I've got my eye on in particular is that first round County Cup draw against Glamorgan. That's such a exciting kind of setup of a competition.
Yeah, oh my God, when I saw that come out I was so excited by it, because everybody will want to be the Tier 1 giant killers in Tier 2 cricket, and I think that's just such a great experience for Tier 1 and Tier 2 players to be a part of, in Tier 3 as well. So it's going to be, just to play Glamorgan over the bridge in that competition is going to be quite. I think we play them, I think it's a Sunday and a Monday, so we play them in 2 games in 3 days, and I think there'll be a lot on that sort of FA Cup style competition for people to show what they're all about. And also it's really great exposure for the players. The opportunity to play against Tier 1 teams to get themselves out there would be huge for them.
How excited are you and how excited are the players about being able to play all your cricket at all your home cricket at Bristol and Cheltenham in 2025?
Yeah, I tell you what, I think the women have already played here before, haven't they? But I never played here when I was playing for Gloucestershire, and it's I find it so exciting to be able to play at a ground like this, with the facilities that are on hand, the standard of the pitch, which is always so important for whether it's men's cricket or women's cricket. Standard of the pitches, standard of the outfields. You know what you're going to get out here, and you know what you're going to get at Cheltenham. You're going to get well looked after, and I think that takes away a lot of anxiety for players and staff around. Oh God, what's the pitch going to be like this week, or what's the outfield? Have they cut the outfield? Have they done this? Have they done that? All of that background noise can just disappear because we know that we're at home, and this can really be the players' home then for the summer, which is really exciting.
And we have 2 double headers in the summer as well. The Gloucestershire Women in the Vitality Blast League 2, and then the men in the Vitality Blast. We've got one on a Sunday in Bristol, and then we play Sussex in Cheltenham as the final kind of double header, as the big kind of finale of the group stage. How much are you and the players looking forward to those occasions where we hopefully have a packed house?
Well, yeah, a packed house would be amazing, wouldn't it? And I think, again, I spoke about it before, but the exposure for the players to play with people that are there to watch them play and watch them succeed will bring a lot of pressure, but a lot of excitement for them, and to get the girls to feel supported, the women to feel supported, will be amazing. And it's probably something that we'll all go through it together in terms of, I haven't led out a team as a head coach with a full round of people, so if that happens, then that'd be amazing, and then that'd be amazing for the girls to be the forefront of that, and really that's why it's so important how we play, because if we can play an exciting brand of cricket, hopefully those supporters that come for the double headers will then come for our standalone fixtures as well, which would be even better. It's not just someone walking around a park with their dog, it's someone that's actually here to watch the cricket and to support us.
And you spoke about maybe the 2025 targets being trying to find your feet and work out what Tier 2 cricket is for you and the players, but what about your long-term targets sort of in the next 3 to 5 years?
I think, this is what really excites me about the club, and what excited me when I went through my interview process was how much everybody wants it to succeed and for it to be a Tier 1 team. Whenever that may be, that's the goal, and I think I'm ultimately going to be judged on how many players we produce into professional cricket, and if we can then treat those players so well and support those players so well with that transition, when we eventually become a Tier 1 team, which is the ultimate goal, they'll want to come back and play for us. And I think that has to be the goal. How amazing would it be if you had a fully professional squad? We've just got to try and prepare them for that before we get there.
And you spoke a little bit at the start about representing Gloucestershire in your early career. That's obviously a reason why you were really excited to come back. Are there any other reasons about why you chose to apply for the job?
Yeah, well, it's that, and it's just, you hear murmurings of how, Laura Charles-Price, how excitable she is and how dedicated she is to the women and girls game here. I think that's a really exciting thing to be a part of, is how much she can push those boundaries a little bit, and just the club on the whole. Being from Bristol is obviously close to my heart, can come back and be with my family, but it's everything about the club, and I've popped in a couple of times and everybody's just been so excited by the prospect of it, and that sort of enhances the experience of it, and it makes you feel welcome and makes everybody feel supported. And that's the murmurings that I heard, which is why I applied, and that has so far been true, which is really great. And I think it's, with Western Storm and the support that Gloucester showed there, I think there's just so much more we can tap into and really support the women's team as we go through it all.
Well, Lauren, best of luck for the start of the season. Everyone at the club is really behind you, and I hope you have a successful campaign.
Thank you very much.